Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is a 40-foot container from Europe. The reason I'm doing this is to show you how packed this container is, and we'll have a little bit of a look at what's inside as we unpack it. So this container left Europe about probably 2 to 3 months ago. It was ordered probably about 2 months before that, and now how I get a container this full is I have no idea. So I'm guessing that I just order stuff and then I say to the supplier, well, how close are we to 40 foot? And I thought it was a 20 foot, so maybe my brain's going on. Maybe it was just 6 months ago and I can't recall because we have lots of containers coming in, coming out. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, lots of targets, but there's a big time frame to get this stuff into Australia. It takes them a long time to get this stuff all packed up. So the supplier at the other end would be putting these on pallets, wrapping them up for us, and literally storing them and putting the order together. And that doesn't happen overnight. It actually takes them a few weeks to build the order for us to get it out. So I assume they have a few staff wrapping these up, putting them all up and getting the sizing correct, because they got this absolutely smack on, like you couldn't fit another thing in this container. And you can say, yeah, there's a gap up the top, that's because I've unloaded one thing. So the time frame's about 6 months. Now this container got delivered to my current store. It was meant to get delivered to my old store. So at my new store, I've got a forklift and it would have been quick to unpack. But one of the problems is with the freight companies, they don't ring you before they deliver, and I didn't even know it was going to get delivered today. So they said it might get delivered today, and when they went to my new store there was no one there, so they brought it to my current store. So I'm going to have to move a 40-foot container in a van to the other store by hand. So that's literally hours and hours and hours of work. Now it's a 2-minute drive from my current store to my new store. So the guy in the truck, it would have taken him 2 to 3 minutes to move it to my other store, but he's like, I was already waiting, and I'm like, part of the freight issue, which then we have to deal with. So, and also today, so this truck arrived here at 8 o'clock this morning. We had an attempted break-in, so the person broke the padlock, so we had to get the padlock off so we can get into our existing containers. That's all part of running the business. So when people go, can you get my order out? It's like, look, we try. Like this morning we've already fixed one bow. We've had probably about 6 customers in. It's about 10 o'clock. 2 staff are away. We have 60 orders, and that's the start of the day. And I'm going to be working on this pretty much by myself, I'm guessing, today, because we've got so many customers and so many orders. So we'll try and do a video with this unpacking as we find stuff that I find interesting that I haven't seen before, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've got the 40-foot container in, and unfortunately I wasn't able to do videos of the 40-foot container being unpacked because the 40-foot container went to the wrong location. So I went to my old shop instead of the new shop, which created issues because I had to move all the stock to here. So the shipping company agreed. So to start off with, I started unpacking it, which was really slow, and the shipping company agreed to move it to this location, to the new store. That occurred about 5 o'clock that night, and I think the truck driver actually hit the power pole, which caused power to go off to our building, I think. But what he did do is he blew the hydraulics, which caused massive amounts of hydraulic fluid to go over the road. Anyway, when we get the shipping container here to the new shop, we spent 2 people half a day unpacking it, and that's just putting the stock onto the floor. Then we've actually moved a fair bit of the stock to pallet racking. That was 2 people for about half a day, and we've still got piles and piles of stock left to unpack. So when your 40-foot container comes in, it's not just a matter of, well, look, you know, nothing happens. You're already busy doing your day-to-day jobs. You've then got to price those items up, put them online. I had a girl putting them online. I was putting the items online, and then you're also packing orders. and dealing with customers and dealing with phone calls. So it's not as simple as like I can just ring up some people to come and help me unpack the shipping container. That's not the case. You've got to make do with the stuff you've got and just try and manage the orders you've got where we're behind, and unpack the shipping container, pack it all away, catalogue it, put pricing on, put it online. And a lot of the stuff in the shipping container would be ordered for customers. So we've got to basically ring them, make sure that they've got what they want and get those orders out. So it's been about a week since the container arrived and we're still unpacking it. So, and in that time period, on that day, we had a huge PSE shipment, then we had Elite shipment, then we had big Bowtech shipment, was all by sea, and we've got Bear somewhere and a huge amount from Bear. So that's the container. Now what was in the container was Legend bow cases, targets, 3D targets, quivers, anything bulky is what I try and put in a sea container. So target faces are heavy, so there's target faces in there. So anything bulky, big hard cases would be in there. Anything bulky is what I try and ship in, and I try and air freight in like the smaller items, but because I can get them in quicker. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.